Hello and welcome to the StudyCIMA discussion of the November 2017 Management Case Study Pre-Scene. My name is Hashan Madushanka and I am the lead tutor for StudyCIMA. So this marks my 12th consecutive session with regards to the management case study since it started in 2015. Right, to start things off, let's see what we have here. We have a company named ZX, and we clearly see that they are into office furniture. So they might be manufacturing, they might be buying and selling, we don't know. Let's find out. So the pre-scene is around 24 pages, which is of course the standard for the previous pre-scenes as well. Right, the company background. You are a finance manager at ZX Office Furniture. Right, so before moving further, it's very important for you to know the role of the finance manager or what you can expect. So you're the link between the operational level and the strategic level of management. You act as the intermediary. Now, the transition from OCS to MCS as from a finance officer to a finance manager, your job role drastically changes. You will be looking at a more medium-term aspect. So if you remember, for OCS you looked at short-term decisions such as limiting factors and so on. But as you move on to this level, you'll be looking at a more longer term, like investment appraisals, pricing decisions and so on. And your accounting information will be more complex, so you will have possibly have information on group accounting, consolidation and so on, sources of finance, capital structure, cost of capital, and from E2 of course you have project management, formulation of strategy, relationship management of course. So it's very important for you to initially have a very good idea on the scope that you can be tested on. So that's a very simple thing to do. All you need to do is go through the P2, E2 and the F2 syllabus. So technical details will be tested from that scope. And also you need to remember that the technical component in the exam goes from 64% in OCS to 39% in MCS. Whereas the other three skills, business, people and leadership, would be 24, 21 and 16% respectively. So you will have more general tasks being tested, right? But that does not mean that you can study less, because 39% you'll never know from what area you can be tested on. So you need to have a thorough knowledge. Right, so being company specific here onwards, ZX Office Furniture, it's a privately owned. Now, this is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time that I'm seeing a private limited company being tested for the management case study. Since all the previous diets included a public limited company, and the examiner could easily test things that are specific to a public limited company, such as accounting standards like IFRS 8, impact on the share price, managing shareholders and so on. So and another very important factor is that consolidation would apply to public limited companies or listed companies. So my guess is that it's possible for the examiner to throw in a question where initially it would state that ZX would have started listing themselves, which means they have gone public, and there onwards the tasks will be set according to that. So don't restrict yourself to information that are only applicable to private limited companies, because you'll never know, the scenario or the background information might tell you that they have listed themselves, which means consolidation and other things would be relevant. So they are into furniture design and manufacturing. right? So that refers to two broad areas in the business: servicing and production. And to break this down further, they specialize in the development, production, supply, and fitting of high quality office furniture for a wide range of corporate clients. So elements of discussion right there. So development, of course, would be possibly subject to customer specifications. So that is modeling the design of the furniture, probably using computerized technology. So once this is finalized, it would go into production. Then it will be delivered to the supplier, and also the fitting will be done by the company. Right? So four broad areas or four broad functions that you see. So possibly the organization has been divided in order to enable these functions, and it has been organized properly. So they are into high quality office furniture. So high quality would definitely mean that they would be able to charge a higher price from their customers, and they have to be very careful with their brand image, right? So since it's more of a premium brand, so this would be useful for us to identify the pricing strategies. So probably they might be using a premium pricing strategy or possibly a market skimming strategy, depending on the client requirement as well. And we see that they are catering to a wide range of corporate clients. So corporate clients mainly includes companies, possibly large companies. So it's more of a business to business marketing model, as I understand. ZX is located in Korea, a northern European country with a developed economy, right? So being a northern European country, effects of the European Union and so on might have an impact. But as we look at the next sentence, we see that they are not using the euro, but instead they have their own currency, which is of course the Korea dollar. And also we see that this country is has a developed economy, which means corporates would be much stronger in an economic sense, and of course the disposable income of customers in the country might be high. So that would be beneficial for a business model like high quality office furniture, especially for individual clients or households, where they would be spending a particular amount on developing the furniture for their houses. Right. ZX was founded in 1983, so that's a 34-year history, by Henry Lund in Bartown, a large town in the north of Korea. So a 34-year history, that's a very long time. And let's look at the history of this company. At the start, Henry employed 8 staff based in a small workshop, producing 3 basic office furniture products: desks, chairs, and storage cabinets. After 2 very successful years in 1985, production moved to a larger premises with a workforce of 15. So the workforce has almost doubled within 2 years, and they have shifted to a new place. ZX has since grown into a multi-million K-dollar business. So I love that word, multi-million. So probably we can expect Henry Lund to be a very visionary entrepreneur, and he has possibly played a pivotal role in guiding this company to where it is now. Right. So 34-year history is a long time, and with a lot of experience, if Henry is still controlling the business, that would be a huge strength for ZX. In 1992, that's after 9 years from the start, ZX invested in a new 7.1 million dollars purpose-built manufacturing plant on a new site close to Bartown, with an easy access of major motorway and rail networks. Now, it's very important to have a spacious manufacturing plant, especially if they have a wide range of furniture, because production lines and the production techniques might be different. And of course, in the long term, it would give them a lot of cost efficiencies when they do the manufacturing themselves, which of course they have clearly identified. And this site, which is close to Bartown, has easy access to major motorway and railway network, rail networks rather. So the benefit of this is, now when you need material for the production of office furniture, timber, and other materials, it would be much easier and cheaper to get them transported through rail, especially if it's a large quantity, right? So rather than using the road, using the rail would be much easier due to less congestions, and since a train can of course occupy a large amount of material, and being close to major motorways is also beneficial, since the completed furniture can be easily delivered to customers, right? So that would be that could be done conveniently. New production machinery was purchased in 2010, so that's 7 years ago, which allowed for a more streamlined and cost-effective production flow, as well as much lower environmental impact. Right, so some important words to consider here. Streamlined. Now, the word streamlined means arranging it in a logical and an efficient sequence. Right, so this reminds me of what we learned for E1 in the last session on lean manufacturing or lean management, possibly cellular manufacturing. So this will definitely reduce the time, and it will enable the production to happen smoothly, and it's of course cost effective, because technology research has shown that using technology can be beneficial in the long term, although the initial investment might be higher, right? And of course it will reduce the environmental impact, possibly due to lower wastage. Now the lower wastage can be achieved through the reduction of the normal loss, because when furniture is manufactured, it may be inevitable that a small part of the output cannot be used, or it will be lost during the production process. So possibly these machines were able to reduce it. And also you can refer to carbon emissions. We know that old outdated machinery, it will consume a lot of fuel, which means carbon emissions can be higher. But new machinery, well, we understand that it's much lower. ZX manufacturing plant covers 150,000 square meters. That's a large amount of space. So there's a image given here. Now of course we know that this company is a hypothetical or imaginary company, but a rough idea on possibly what a 150,000 square meter manufacturing plant may look like. So you have ample space for the production to happen, and also placement of material. And as we see, there's a rail track next to it, which makes it convenient to supply material directly into the factory. And of course it's also joining possibly a major motorway. So it's 150,000 square meters and employs over 150 people. So a business that started with 8 people has now grown to 150 people, and also a higher degree of automation possibly after 2010's machinery purchase. ZX also operates a showroom located on the site of the manufacturing plant close to Bartown. So within this plant itself, they have a retail outlet where possibly customers can visit and purchase standard furniture products, or maybe customers can come and specify the design that they need, and it will be transferred to the factory and get it done. Right. So all in all, we see that this is a growing business. ZX's mission statement. So mission statement is very important for a company, since it sets out the direction as to what they want to achieve. So it will be very useful for the employees, since it will guide them on what is expected from them, and it will also be useful if you are going public, because shareholders would want to see in one sentence what exactly you want to achieve. So let's look at their mission statement. We are committed to offering the very best in office furniture design and excellence in customer service. Right, so a very good mission statement, I would say. It's very customer focused. So what they want to do is they want to make sure that all the designs that they undertake are done smoothly and should satisfy the customer, right? Not only through the design, but also through the supply and the fitting, and also the quality of the product should be high, it should be durable, should fit the purpose, and so on. ZX's mission is focused on developing its core competencies in order to meet its core business principles. Right, so as you know, a core competency is something that the company is good at and it's difficult to imitate. So in the case of ZX, it might be that they have a awesome designing team, or their production quality might the others may not be able to match their production quality because it's a very high quality, or it might be very friendly customer service, quick installation, and convenient delivery, and so on. So these are possible core competencies of ZX, and whatever it is, ZX should take every step possible to make sure that the core competency is being capitalized upon. So looking at this, to provide quality office furniture through highly skilled employees and investment in state-of-the-art manufacturing processes. Right, so this takes me back to the quality area that we need to focus on from P2. Highly skilled employees, of course, can be achieved through a good level of training, right, and that gets connected to the balanced scorecard learning and growth perspective, of course. State-of-the-art manufacturing refers to the latest technology, right? So this would definitely reduce cycle times and make sure that the quality of the product is extremely high, and that is very important since it's more of a consumer durable. To exceed customers' expectations in product design, delivery, and cost through continuous improvement and customer interaction. Right, so you need to satisfy your customers in many aspects. First of all, product design, that can be achieved by patiently listening to the customer and making sure that you record every aspect that the customer specifies, and before putting the product or putting the design into production, making sure you double check with the customer as to the exact whether the specification was exactly correct, possibly have a model, build a prototype before producing the entire batch. Then of course delivery, as we understand, it's close to major motorway and rail tracks, so delivery can be done easily, and it's important to have good delivery vehicles so that there are no damages in transit. And of course cost. So cost seems to be reducing through continuous improvement, which of course relates to Kaizen costing, adding or making small incremental changes to the cost per unit. And of course customer interaction. So the communication that you maintain, the rapport you maintain with the customer is very important. So it's a part of relationship management in E2. The third one is to maintain focus on quality design and production by continuous education and learning and the application of best business practices. So in order to focus on a quality design and production, it's important to first train your employees very well. So whatever the job role that the employee is working on, it's important to give a thorough training, and training should not just be a one-off thing. It's important to encourage the employees continuous learning, continuous development of their work areas, and it's also possible to rotate their job role, something we call job rotation. The application of best business practices, so this is relevant to ethics and also making sure that the most modern practices are used when carrying out the production and other tasks. And finally, to maintain the highest standards of integrity in interactions with all of our stakeholders. So integrity refers to honesty, being straightforward and honest in all transactions. So that is one of the 5 principles under the CIMA code of ethics. Of course, you have objectivity, confidentiality, professional behavior, and finally professional competence and due care. So ethics is a heavily tested area for both OCS and MCS, right? So the values of the business itself reflect this, and this is something you find in most businesses, since prevention is better than reaction, right? So the company should encourage all its employees to be very honest and straightforward in all business dealings, to accept any mistakes that they have done without passing the blame to some other party. So all of that are good moves to have a good skilled and straightforward workforce, and that would definitely build their business and make the customer rapport stronger. Not only the customers, you can also look at suppliers and other stakeholders. Right, moving on to the next page, the design process. So we have an image with some blueprints, or some sketches rather, of not sure exactly what it is, but it should be some sort of furniture. Right. ZX employs a team of office furniture design experts who provide a variety of services to its corporate clients, including 2D office spatial planning services and a 3D computer-generated office visualization service. Right, so I really like the word experts, which means before getting employed, they need to possibly have a certain amount of a certain level of qualification and expertise, and possibly ZX might be giving them a good training program for these designers, and their services are offered either through 2D services and also using computer aided design, and that's 3D. 3D planning and design is now a well-established practice in the office furniture industry. So we clearly understand that using 3D would make the image more clear, and you can look at all the different angles. As 3D visualization is the best method of demonstrating to clients the optimum office layout for their particular needs. Right, so having using 3D, it's very important that we invest sufficiently on technology and software, and we know that technology and software can get outdated, so it's important to upgrade our systems periodically. So that would possibly give us a competitive advantage if we are the first in the industry to continuously improve on technological aspects. ZX's designers will use the 2D and 3D planning software to help clients to select and optimize the layout of the wide range of office furniture products from ZX's product catalog. So now this should obviously be a two-way thing. It's important to first get to know what exactly the customer requires, and then trial and error approach can be used until the customer is satisfied. So it's very important to give them a good training, not only on the designing aspects but also on communication, because sometimes certain designers can tend to be a little arrogant, and rather than taking what the customer wants, the designer might oppose and give his or her opinion on what is good. So such situations should be avoided, because customers need to feel that it is their need that is being satisfied and not the designer's need. Each client specification is analyzed by ZX's designers to achieve the optimum layout and conformity to meet the client's needs and to meet Cordia's health and safety laws and guidelines. So, a couple of important words here: optimum layout and conformity. So, this is referring to where the furniture is fitting. Sometimes for a small office space, if you have a couple of large chairs, that might cause space issues. So it's important that the designer understands this in advance, right? Not only the design of the product but also where it is placed, right? So that's also very important, because it cannot be blocking the parts and so on, and it should have enough space. And another concern is the health and safety laws. Now, products such as chairs, they need to be designed in such a way to prevent any backaches and other health issues occurring. So these laws need to be followed clearly, because a small non-conformance to this can be a reputational risk, right? Tight control of turnaround from client order to completion and installation of the office products is regarded as a primary objective of ZX, with stringent quality checks performed at each stage of the production process, right? So client order to completion, that would be the designing to the manufacturing and then fitting it in the client space. So the entire process is being tightly monitored, and quality checks are being performed. That is, of course, falls into appraisal cost in the total quality management concept. ZX always works towards minimizing lead times, so that will result in customer delight, since as a customer you'd really like if the product that you want gets delivered to you much faster. So that can be, of course, facilitated by a streamlined production process, which of course they have implemented in 2010. Right, so that brings to an end of the first part of the pre-scene analysis. If you want to get your hands on the complete video analysis, I have included a link on the bottom, and also we can offer you free study material for the management case study exam, and I have included a link for that as well. So once again, reminding you, please make sure that you go through all the areas in your syllabus before facing the main exam, and it's very important for you to face at least 3 to 4 mock exams. That's the bare minimum, I would say. At least 3 to 4 mock exams before sitting for the main exam, since some of you may have done operational case study and you might have an idea of how the case study format works. But for some of you, this might be your first case study, especially for students through the gateway route. So it's very important to first familiarize yourself with how the case study works. So you can go check out some past variants and look at the structure of the examination. And we at StudyCIMA, we of course can offer you 5 mock exams that can be attempted in our simulated exam portal, right? So information about all our case study products can be viewed if you visit our website. We have a couple of packages depending on your requirement. So do check it out, and you can subscribe for our free material by following the link below. And if you have friends that are facing the management case study exam, please do share this free video with them. Right, so I wish you all the very best in your exams. Thank you.